live,
everywhere.
people. We are live. We are live.
Happening.
It's happening.
This
We're
is
back.
happening.
It took a minute. We were lollygagging and polyflocking, like my dad would like to say, lollygagging and polyflocking. But you guys, you know what? Actually, life took place. And so when life takes place, sometimes you have to rise to that occasion. And that is what happened these last couple of weeks. So, but we're back like we've never left. Welcome back to SipsTea the Show, where we come on every Wednesday because we are getting our times together. We're here at 9 o'clock. Typically, we do come on at 8:30. Please join the collaboration. However, we are on YouTube where we can actually see your comments, like, subscribe, and share the page. If you love the show, like, subscribe, and share it. If you hate the show, like, subscribe, and share it. Just like, subscribe, and share it.
Just do it.
Is the point of that whole but no, guys, we are about to go live. It is your girl Eb Deceleb
and GemDTwin,
and we are the United Sisters, the Us Girls, and we are ready to get into it because of 2 weeks is like
it's a lot of stuff to happen.
Yeah, we forgot to add the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that happened too.
Oh, wow.
A lot has happened in 2 weeks. Like, I've been missing my sister girl, but like I said, life is taking place. But we are back. I'm looking forward to a great show tonight and many more to come. And I guess we can start us off with the positivity.
Okay. Happy belated Valentine's Day to everybody.
Love day.
We love y'all so much. Tributes to people who have been watching the show, sharing the show, liking the show, and just like call to check up on a nigga and be like, hey, are you guys, what's going on? You know, are you going to have the show? What's what? So, because sometimes you do things and you're like,
do they people really care?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're pushing, but
is somebody really listening?
You know, pushing. And then let's not forget, because where we left off was at push. Okay, power up, stay humble. We're gonna keep
you
on.
Have to implement this.
I had to implement that. Stay humble.
The devil was busy.
Okay, yeah.
The devil was busy.
As he may find himself, doing trying to tell you. Sometimes you got to put in work because the work has already been put in. Like against you is already, coming for you. So yeah, power up and stay humble.
And guys, she didn't know I was going to do this, but I am going to do this. Give him a moment of silence for your stepdad and your dad.
Thanks.
I know she was not prepared for this.
No.
I know. Moment of silence for him, and just prayers go with her family. Everyone, please pray for GemDTwin and her family as they are going through a really difficult time. But with life comes continued blessings, and I got an opportunity to meet her stepfather, and I must tell you, he was the life of the party. And so I definitely want us to just, be in prayer for everyone, be in prayer, especially for my business partner, as she is going through a tough time.
Absolutely.
Okay, I did not mean it, but I just had to get that out the way. Now that it's out the way. Now I
gotta readjust myself.
Okay.
Listen, guys.
Take your drink.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Y'all just carry on for a second. Let me regather myself.
I just had to want to get it out.
You really did. You didn't really have to.
I did. Because this is a sister in love and this is our family. And we want them to pray for you as well, and if anybody has gone through a difficult time, with losing your father and stuff like that, please reach out. I'm sure that the family will receive any type of condolences and grieving processes and things like that, because it's never easy losing a parent. Especially her dad. He was a pretty cool guy, I must say. I met him a couple times and he was awesome.
Yeah.
So we want to definitely.
And it's just actually so. I really can't, guys. Can't. Never mind. Yes, my stepfather passed. But it does shed light on the people that are around you. Mm-hmm. Love up on each other while you can, because life is not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. We never know what is going to happen. And I was really blessed to actually have not only my dad, my dad is still here, praise God, all of that, my biological father, but then also my stepfather who, just has been there since forever, and never really stepchild,
Yeah, I would say that no. Because for the longest time, I thought that was her dad. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was her dad until she was like, no, that's not. That's not that. I was like, oh.
And then my mom also remarried, and there was a, So listen, as far as men and father figures and male presence is in people's lives, considering the things that I know now as an adult, I know that is like, it's a big thing. And sometimes in tragedy, you have to realize that, what the blessings were. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I have to move on from this because this is not about to be like an hour of crying and stuff like that. I've been trying to get myself together. Clearly this happened last week. So, and then somebody hit me. What?
That's about to say.
They also hit me right when I'm in the midst of my grief.
The devil was busy. The devil was busy.
The devil was busy. Like, what is going on? So, anywho, it's been a very emotional time. And yeah, in order to maintain and move forward, we just gonna keep it moving because this is life. And that's one of those other things that you realize when a loved one passes is that the world does not stop. Yeah. Nothing stops. They don't stop wanting you to do shit at work. They don't stop wanting, people still need to eat, things like that. Valentine's Day still came. The world was in love while you were like sad and at your lowest and, things like that. But then there was love around and everything like that. So anyway, thank you very much. And let's move on to some more positivity, which actually brings me to what I was going to say for positivity. You want to go first?
Yeah, let me go first.
Go, thank you.
Collect. I actually posted it recently because we always look at our life, we always look at where are we going, where are we, and where does our future look like, where did that come from? And so this just stuck out like a sore thumb for me. It says the past is your lesson, the present is your gift, and the future is your motivation. And that just for me, with my life in general, that's been my storyline. I've had a past, and that was the lessons that I had to learn in life. And then in this moment, I've been gifted with lots of gifts. And then my future is motivated by what I'm doing now, So it's just like, this is anybody who knows me. This is my storyline. This is my truth. And yeah, so that's it for me.
Okay. So the quote that I had today to share was from the page of our girl who actually has Nemow brand, NEMOW brand, Latice.
Oh, TC, yeah.
Who is somebody who watches the show all the time, to the point where she watches it after the show and stuff like that. So we really, really appreciate her. But she always posts like really positive things, and she has another page.
If you ever feeling down, follow her page.
Yeah.
If you ever can't find your way, follow her page. And if you ever even extra happy, follow her page because she taps into all aspects of emotions at all times.
And the Nemow brand is like women something backwards or something like that, but it's all about like women empowerment and like self-worth and things like that. And we can never have a shortage of things like that remind us of our worth as women and creators of the freaking universe. Not like
most powerful creatures in the world.
The ones that were put here to bring forth life. Okay.
Know your place.
So anyway, this quote said, becoming aware of your thoughts is so important because thoughts influence feelings, which influence behavior, which influence life in a beautiful or negative cycle. You control your destiny. And you guys know, if you watch a couple shows, y'all know my saying is, she who controls her thoughts controls her entire universe. So, and that's your universe. That's whatever your sphere is, controlling your thoughts is actually, even with this passing, like you have to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Because the thing that got me most quickly out of my super sadness was the fact that I knew that my stepdad wasn't suffering anymore. And he was suffering.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling too
He was suffering prior to passing. So Like sometimes we have to check the boxes and click those buttons in our own heads for our own self in order to change the narrative for ourselves. And so this kind of came at a good time, because your thoughts are so powerful. Your thoughts they are your entire composition a lot of times. And you don't write your thinking. And you don't write your narrative.
Yeah, you write
negatively or positively. So you have to. That's a choice. Every day is a choice.
Every day is a choice. Just to get
every
up.
day is a choice.
Just to get up.
And what kind of nourishment you're gonna give to this thing? Like, what things are gonna feed it? Like, I have to stop myself in mid thought sometimes. Like, no, what you say to me?
Yeah,
like seriously, what did you just say to me? Excuse me. What? No, because nobody talks to me like that. First of all, I have to stop myself in mid thought, because
a whole character over here.
Yeah, we got to go to the left and the right. Y'all know I'm a Gemini, so one of me is inclined to be like, yes, super supportive, and the other one's like, girl, that ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Several times today, I was like, we probably not even gonna do the show today. Like, what? And I was like, that's what I said. Like, what? First of all, that was not discussed.
That was definitely not discussed. I'm texting her. I'm like, are you in the house?
But I mean, that's just your thought process, your thoughts, and we gotta control those things for ourselves and for the people around us, because it does influence our behavior as well. Absolutely. Okay. So since we have so much to talk about, because it has been quite some time, like Eb Deceleb said, like we done had the Super Bowl, like so many ups and downs.
Yeah.
The last show was a little touchy too, because that was right after Kobe passed. And his daughter, and shout out to them and everybody.
And that's still,
Absolutely.
Shout out to the All-Star Awards, because they actually did an amazing tribute. Jennifer Hudson actually sang a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. And it constantly reminds you, man, life ain't promised.
Absolutely.
Life ain't promised. It don't matter how old you are. It don't matter how young you are.
Yeah.
When it's the inevitable, it is the inevitable. You got to really, really, really sit down and ask yourself, what am I doing with the life God gave me? Before God takes it away, because that's who gives it to you and that's who takes it away. So you really got to just sit down and put some stuff in perspective, because Kobe, who would have thought?
Right.
Gigi, who would have thought?
Absolutely.
Your day, even
not that day,
even he is in a better place, but who would have thought that day?
That day, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought that was, you know what I'm saying? So you got to really just sit down and make sure, like you said, just that labor of love, touching those ones, and doing something productive with the life that you have while you have it.
Yeah, and making your mark. And the thing is that it can be a little thing, a big thing, or whatever thing. It's not like some of us, we got to take it back to Queen and Slim.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's completely and totally up to you what kind of mark you want to make.
Yes.
You could want to make just an incredible mark on your family, your children, your wife, your kids, and things like that. That could be your thing.
That could be your thing.
Or you could want to make a mark on the entire world. That's completely and totally up to you what your world contains, and what you want to do with your time, and how you want to, and what kind of legacy you want to leave. And there is no wrong answer to that.
She said, "Can I be your legacy?"
Can I be your legacy? And he's like, you already are. But when during the movie, he was talking about the fact that he just wanted to. That was his idea. He wanted his legacy to be basically seen from the eyes of the woman that he loves, like that he was a good man, like this, that, and the other. So
and it didn't take a lifetime. Notice the movie.
Absolutely.
Follow the trend. It doesn't take a lifetime to make your mark.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you could wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I'm gonna make my mark. I'm gonna be who I wasn't yesterday. And guess what? Don't take all day to recognize who you are. You know who you are. We know who you are. We know who we are. And it's all about making sure you stay on the right direction and controlling your thoughts.
Yes. Shout out to Don't Block Your Bloom over here too. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Team Gemini. You guys, because I keep looking up here, but Instagrammers, everybody on Facebook or whatever, join us on YouTube, because we can have this whole collaboration.
This collaboration about to get real. We just touched the surface.
Yeah. So click the link in the bio wherever you are, and you can come on over here.
Because we need y'all's opinion on some stuff.
Yeah, we do.
We need to weigh in. We need to weigh in
all the time. Mm-hmm. So, shout out to the author of Don't Block Your Bloom, the author of the book and the movement, who will she's got an event coming up and everything. So
definitely check her out. Yo, check her book out.
The book, okay.
Check out the book.
Absolutely.
To have somebody write a biography of who they are and living in.
And then you could give yourself some cliff notes about what's going on with you. And you can write down something. Yeah. So
I need a new book.
Speaking of which, we didn't do Brewing TEA, which
I think we just did.
Yes, we got to show some love to our sister at Don't Block Your Bloom. People who are making Black history every day. And you guys also visited us on SipsTea the Show on Instagram. Today I posted Ejima Yarn, the neighborhood knitter, who did an event last year. Actually, I think it's been going on for a couple years now. It's called Stay Warm DC. And I just want you guys to know that, like I said in the caption on that, like constantly and consistently, we are making Black history. So happy Black History Month to everyone. You know what I mean? And it's important that we remember our past because it dictates our future. It tells us how far we've come. It tells us what's in our rear view. And sometimes the things that are in our rear view are not very far away either. Bad times and good times. But also to, I think it's important for us to also highlight those people who are making Black history every day. And with her efforts with Stay Warm DC, there's an actual event that's going on. It's going to be held on February 23rd.
It was fun last year.
Yeah, it was. Really we went and did some coverage. This is at Walter Reed.
I think this one is in
Arlington. The place is Arlington. But it's like a community center. Yes, Walter Reed Community Center, which is in Arlington. There's actually going to be an event. So some like spoken word. We got a DJ coming out. You guys can come out, talk. We'll do a little panel discussion, drop off some items to help our people in our community stay warm in these colder months. Do a donation. She actually posted on her Instagram when she took the donated money and went shopping. And you could people less fortunate than you are, you would never realize the things that we take for granted. So us, women, having our cycles and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
You take for granted.
You take it for granted that you got tampons and pads. I don't use
that tampons. You have tampons, pads, a bathroom that, you feel comfortable changing in. Change of clothes for when things don't go so well, wipes,
overflow,
things like that. We take those things for granted. Yes, we remember every month like, oh my God, this is just killing me. But at the same time, there's somebody out there that probably has it a little worse than you. It doesn't even have the luxury to stand somewhere complaining because, so it's just little things like that, small gloves, like anything, like you take for granted hand sanitizer and just, things that will make you feel just a little bit more comfortable. Be you in a facility and just still not making ends meet.
You can bring
or
stuff,
on the street.
Clothes,
you can bring clothing, you can bring items, you can bring toiletries, and you can also make a donation if you can't make it or if you would rather them do the shopping themselves. So shout out to her because I really feel like when we talk about things like that, especially with Brewing TEA, we are constantly and consistently doing things. We're putting out a reciprocal energy. And when you're putting out a positive energy that you're hoping gets reciprocated, you are creating a ripple in time and you never know what that's going to do. And so that is, a lot of our movements in Black history, people, a lot of our movements started with one person, 2 people, 3 people just doing one thing. They said, hey, I'm going to this damn restaurant. I'm about to sit at this counter and I'm about to eat this food. And
that was 60 years ago.
And then it just takes for somebody else to join the movement. So you guys think about that. Shout out to them. So that is definitely some Brewing TEA for you. Let's continue to make Black history. Just because they gave us the month with 28 days, it doesn't matter. It's Black history. True. Happy leaf year to us.
29.
But, Just because it's 29 days does not mean that we have to like carry it on. We got 12 months in a year. You do with it what you see fit. But yeah, so back to the Kobe thing. You guys know that with the Kobe situation,
and everybody in their emotions and feelings and stuff.
Everybody was in their feelings, and in the midst of these feelings, Gayle King's interview came.
Oh my goodness!
Now I didn't find out about the interview till I seen my girl Oprah crying because her friend was getting death threats.
Oh yeah. But you know what though? At the end of the day, you got to just know when to be sensitive and when to, you got to know when, understand we all doing jobs, but at the end of the day, the human side has got to kick in.
Sometimes
you cannot forget the human element, and people are truly grieving. It's probably not the best time to bring up somebody's ex charges when they just passed and lost the father passed, the daughter passed, the husband, uncle, friend, family, brother, everything, sister passed, and you gonna bring this up. Yeah, you can't bring up nothing else.
I mean, okay, so what happened with Gayle King? If you guys were paying attention or following along, it's been a while, so it seems like everybody would know. But in case you don't, so Gayle King had an interview with Lisa Leslie following Kobe and Gianna's passing, and everybody that was on that flight. And I guess she asked, now mind you, Gayle King's not the only person that's talking about this, but she asked Lisa Leslie, basically, did she think that Kobe's 2003 sexual assault allegations would impact his legacy? Ooh, now, quite possibly. It's just the, like, when I'm bleeding, okay, so we in the field, right? We in the field. We in some kind of war zone. I just got shot. Somebody came over and patched me up. You know how in the movies they put the gunpowder in there and burn it so they can stop the bleeding? And what she did would probably be equivalent to somebody then coming and putting their finger in it and like letting it start to bleed again. I mean, it's just, it may have been insensitive timing, but we also got to realize that, well, this is the argument at least. And you guys, tell us what you think about that as well.
Real quick, the argument is comment thing turned. It's turned on, right?
Yeah, should be. Okay. The argument is that she's a journalist and that she didn't bring up anything that other people weren't talking about at the time either. It's just like, when do we cater to the masses versus?
It's the same situation when Kodak Black went in, when Laura London, when Nipsey
But Kodak Black is not a journalist.
But still, he's not a journalist, but still he's a rapper. Yeah. Right? And everybody probably was thinking about it. Yeah. But he just said it, right? So everybody might have been thinking about the fact that, okay, will this really impact his legacy? Yeah. One, I wouldn't even ask that question because look at what happened once he died. The entire universe was devastated. So I wouldn't even ask, would this impact the legacy? Did you see?
Was it tasteful? Because
maybe she could have ended it.
How about you just wait and see? Did it impact? You know what I mean?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she could have changed her
Lisa Leslie could have been like, I don't know, sis. What you think? Like, we already been out of it. Like, what you think so far?
She could have turned it.
I mean, okay, so several things happened as well. Lisa Leslie was, so we were told Gayle's defense was, number one, that's not the context in which she asked. She said that, basically the media, which they do, they cut up certain things to make it seem a certain way as if the entire interview was geared towards that. Completely possible. But the one thing about the media,
can I interrupt you?
Yes.
If it was not that, why didn't Lisa Leslie get up and say, "Oh no, guys, it wasn't. Oh no, you were taking it out of context." Talk to the person who said it. Taking it out of context, guys. It's really not that serious.
Well, I don't know. People said she wasn't upset about it, like upset that it was asked.
But she did look a bit uncomfortable. She had
to be uncomfortable.
So I don't know. She looked uncomfortable. She looked like in that video because she shifted and she was like, so you could tell she was uncomfortable. However, she didn't miss a beat. But still, she in her mind, she's probably like, "Bitch, what?"
Right. I mean, this is the thing. Don't ask me no crazy shit about Eb Deceleb. Like I've lost my friend, and you said what? You know, like what was saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's also that human element. Like you can't be like, "What?"
Yeah, it could have been. It could have went. What if
worse.
Lisa Leslie was like, "What was said?"
Who said what? Like if she was really about that lie,
she could have hit the straight wit.
Yeah, what you say?
Like
that
she could have
went.
She could have palmed Gail's face, but we're gonna leave that there, because
let that have been like. I wonder if she would have said something like that. And then here's the thing: is it different because Lisa Leslie was a woman? Is that why she brought it up? Because she was a woman. Okay, what she had brought up if she was a man. Go ahead.
I think it depends on what man too.
Yeah,
would it have been Shaq?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I guarantee
that would have been.
You would not have asked that question in front of Shaq.
That's completely possible.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Or LeBron James.
But and then also,
did you feel comfortable because she was a woman?
Could she have been faulted though as a journalist for not asking that question?
And that's another point. Like, did you should have dug in even when it hurts? Right? Yes, but that
is. What people say about
been
journalists.
Though. I think she could have been a little bit more sensitive.
How do you do that?
Probably just by not asking.
Okay.
Or just say, hey, it might come out that he might not be a legacy because of what he might have done in the past. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Not
like the actual.
Exactly.
Not mentioning what we're talking about. So we're just going to go around the elephant in the room, which again brings me back to that journalist thing. Because technically, that is not.
They're not trained to be sensitive. They're trained to get the information.
They're trained to get the information. You know what I mean? They're trained to ask the tough questions that other people are just not asking. And so I don't know, Gail. Good luck, girl. Because I hope
that's what I say.
I hope Snoop ain't coming for you, baby.
Because the only thing that saved you shit was his mama show. I heard.
Okay.
Because if it won't for that, the mama.
She said, Snoop.
You better call that motherfucker. Boy, y'all know
I'm like, why I raised you like that? And I like Miguel and Otha.
And Oprah. Now I can't even watch Oprah because what
you
done did. Exactly. Yeah. So, Otha got her little fans and stuff like that. So, you better be glad that Snoop Dogg had a strong black mother. Because if you didn't, honey.
He was like, I'm sorry. It's like, I ain't mean it like that, mother.
Yeah. Corrupt. She cracked that whip.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, though, my prayers do go out with Vanessa. And the girls who are left behind and the family of those who lost loved ones as well, who are left behind with no mother, no father, sister, no brother. It was definitely a tragic accident. No one wants to start their year off like that. But like they said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we have an opportunity to really take what we see here and flip it around to something positive. And I've seen on social media and all kinds of outlets, you guys are doing just that with the tributes and things like that to Kobe Bryant. To understand what his life really meant and understand what this really means. We all have these great stories. I don't have no great stories, but people have these great stories of him. We're as normal people, I'll just say that, who don't know him, we're living through you guys. So our perception is coming from of the people who are talking about him. Just continue with that same positive and continue with that same energy and don't stop. Just don't stop.
Can we turn things around too? Because that also, just want to make sure, that also kind of brings us to the point of things that you can or cannot live down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At any given time, we always tell people at any given time, you can turn around your life. You can do this, you can do that. You know what I mean? And for that incident did happen in 2003. It was super impactful. We are coming off the backs of Me Too movements and things like that, where it's a super, super serious time for that in general, that topic. And now here we go with, moving into this. So it's like, how, some things people don't let you.
You gotta think, like, did he really sexually assault that woman?
And then I'm saying it's going down. I know we still have an alleged, thing behind it. I've heard several stories though, and one of them, and I'm just going to throw this out there just because, but one of them included the fact that I think maybe he had apologized for like a misunderstanding, as if like Oh, that's how you saw it. I didn't mean it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the same situation. I'm
gonna create something. I mean, you have this one guy that passed away, and you know he's this hero, and then you have this other.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the world was taking it. Like, are you trying to switch his credibility?
Well, let me tell y'all something too.
Yeah, like what? Let's weigh it.
Okay.
Got the things you can't live down.
Do you have things that you can't?
I got a couple.
You know what I mean?
I got a couple things that I done did that I'm not 100% proud of.
90.
I'm a 27%.
27%. Okay, let that is
wishing
in the dark.
Okay,
just leave it right there.
I done did some things.
Okay. I mean, I think that
that's going down.
Okay, but so I was listening to a sermon the other day, and it was talking about paying attention to the characters in the Bible because the Lord takes the worst of us, you know what I mean, and makes the best of us.
Uh-huh.
And that, many of, our biblical heroes are also the biblical
sinners. Okay.
Super sinners.
But the guy said
drunks,
in that Bible that you was reading.
So I'm just saying.
But did he say that? Look, I'm glad I've been forgiven.
However,
just because I've been forgiven don't mean I'm a kiss and tell.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going down in the history.
Here we go. Here go another one. We'll talk about this in DetoxTEA. Forgive your damn self. Because Eb Deceleb, like one of my other little sayings is that sometimes you are the victim, and sometimes you're the villain.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It just happens. This is life, and it's really about how you recover.
Mm-hmm.
I've messed up before. You know what I mean? I've not been the best human that I could be, even when I tried. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can have the best meaning, intentions, and still fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that could potentially hurt someone or whatever the case may be. And those are the times in which I know my heart specifically is hurt so bad because it's one thing when you set out to do something like, retarded and ridiculous. And it's another thing when you set out to do something completely positive and completely helpful and completely loving, a loving gesture, and some kind of way you still end up flipping it or being offensive. So at any rate, at least Gail has Oprah. They have their money.
Oprah and her lovers.
Yeah, well, then there's that.
Yeah, they're lovers, honey. They're going to always have each other.
I hope when the memoirs come out, they just tell us and be like, that was my baby for years.
Yes.
Because I would love it. I'd be like, yes.
We all knew it. Now, should we talk about your legacy?
And then your legacy of you can't come out the closet. And
exactly.
What made that so that you, anyway.
But I think that's a perfect segue into Dwayne Wade and Gabby coming out the closet.
Yeah, it is. Look, you say Dwayne Wade and Gabby coming out the closet like
they ain't come out the closet. They ain't come out the closet.
They ain't come out the closet with. But yes, the baby.
Ooh.
Who's not a baby? 12.
He's not a baby.
Zaire.
I
think it's Zaya. Yeah.
Zaya.
How
do you feel about that?
So
you have a son.
I do. Let me tell y'all something. So what we're talking about is, if you guys don't know, Wade and Gabrielle Union, their family, their beautiful family, has been all over social media. A lot of controversy comes from their male-born son.
His male-born son.
Mm-hmm. Their son, their child. Whether it is or not. Male-born child who now is identifying pronoun they, baby. Okay, pronoun they, but identifies as female, a transgender female. And so there have been pictures all over social media, things like that.
Right,
I know we saw one at Thanksgiving. I know that people were talking about because they were like apparent, like press on nails or something like that. Things like that. And in 2020, when we have lots of shining examples of like, baby, the LGBTQ is going off, right? I'm trying to tell you, this was not the case back in the day, but the LGBTQ is going off right now. So if you are a child, technically, I feel like if you are a child battling with some things that you could not understand before, you probably caught a glimpse of something that made you feel like, oh, that's exactly what's going on with me right there. You know what I mean? You done seen somebody on Instagram. They can't see.
Yeah, I was trying to find a picture of.
But anyway, they is the pronoun that and you guys, LGBTQ all day. I am still getting used to myself, the they, the pronoun specific things and the movement.
Here, everybody.
That is now Eb Deceleb.
That's the
I know, baby,
pronoun.
but
I was trying to get
I know you were. You sound well meaning, but I don't think that that's going to translate well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Like how are they going to see it?
I tried.
You did.
Okay.
But what do you asked me what I think?
I don't know. I for me,
the support for the child.
I think that it goes back to, are you born this way or is this something that you create? Mm-hmm. You know, that was always a question for people, right? And then second of all, like I said, you said the LGBTQ community is going off. However, with that being said, I love my community 100%, right? Mm-hmm. I love my community 100%, but I almost wonder as far as she transitioning, like you said, everybody wishes that they had parents like that was so accepting.
Yeah.
You know,
because if you're going to accept that, you'll be going to accept.
What gets me is if you are going to change genders, carry yourself as the gender that you're changing it to. Mm-hmm. You know, as far as you have a lot of transgender women who portray to be women, but act not like actual women.
What do you mean?
Like, when was I? It would probably, matter of fact, when I was in Puerto Rico, mm-hmm. and it was, you know, and I love transgender women. I love them. I embrace them. However, she was dressed up like a woman, mm-hmm. and we were at this place called La Placita, and then she started dancing with another female's man.
Okay.
And it just happened within like 5.2. And she ended up dancing. So of course, he was like, being aggressive with her. I'm sorry, being aggressive with her. And then the girl ended up jumping into it. The girlfriend ended up jumping into it, not realizing that it was a transgender woman.
Okay.
So then the transgender woman takes off her wig. Voice got super fucking deep. And said, I will beat your ass like a nigga.
Okay.
And so that's the part I'm talking about.
That wasn't a show, because that sounds like a whole show.
It was a whole, but it happened so quick, like, because those women in Puerto Rico really look good. Yeah. Like the transgender women, like it's really hard to tell. Like I didn't even know. Yeah. I was just like, she ripped that wig off. Oh, beat your ass. Like it happened within like 2.5 seconds. I was like, oh, and everybody like paused, wait, and like, you want to walk around like a female, but you want to fight like a Negro or whatever the case may be, or whatever. But my thing is, if you're going to impersonate or become a woman, not impersonate, become a woman, gain the characteristic of what a real woman really is.
But I guess it depends on who we modeling ourselves after, because you just say the same that we would see in the club any day. You know what I'm saying? Complete with, but the only thing that you wouldn't have got was a deep voice thereafter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they would have snatched off that wig because they not about to.
So then she gets offended because, oh, you a whole man for real? Because like she didn't just like
she
didn't just push her. Uh-huh. When she took that wig off, she began to box like a. Do you get what I'm saying?
Don't try to punch her in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm talking about. Like it was, and so I mean, you would have thought I was in there being an investigator.
Yeah. But then again, let's be clear, okay? Because when you approaching people up in that club, you never know who came from kickboxing that day.
You never know who you going to get.
You know what I'm saying? That the strength. I mean, we can't speak to the strength of.
So then me and Ebony was saying, like, how does that look like when you go to the courtroom? a man beat a woman, a trans man beat, like, how does that look? Like that, like when I tell you, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And the way he, like, I felt like I couldn't want to get in the mix, but because, you know, I just didn't want to get a mix.
I mean, at that point, it's her man.
Yeah, but he got it because when they realized it was a man, and like he was dogging her out. I mean, she was dogging her out. Like,
that's okay. So here's another topic, like, though, if you think about it, because we'll come back to baby, because what we really wanted to talk about was his support, or that family support for the child, and how that, you know, how that translates into society. But even with what you're saying, asking someone to perform, it just brings the question up: are transgender, is that community actually tolerant of us now? Because here's what happened in the scenario, in the picture that I'm seeing of you, right? I'm out, I'm dressed, you know, the way that I feel most comfortable. This is who I am. I dance with this guy. This guy still is with that girl. So, but why is that okay for me to take your man and just do all this other stuff? Because that wouldn't be okay for two females. So when we were standing there, it was like because I was just watching this thing unfold, and it was like she was like she knew what she was doing. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. Like, are you being tolerant, or are you being? And he was like, the girl, because she was finished. He was like, go ahead, yeah, you know, go ahead, stop. And I think the guy maybe had pushed her or something like that, and then the girl came up. He was like, get the fuck off my blah blah blah. Yeah, because technically, she was like, get the fuck off my neck, blah 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 blah. But in his mind, that was a female. Absolutely. So he just did he was like, back up. Because I watched it. Yeah. And so he was like, back up, like pushed her off. Because you need to, because your girlfriend is like, why is this blah blah all over your face? And you look like you because she was doing all this and trying to kept doing it. Right. So then the girl came back around and she was like, get up. And you know how you turned up and she's doing all this. Like, you doing too much on my man. I tell you, the trans just said, so it's like, if I've accepted you and I've identified you as being a whole woman, but now your behaviors are being a disrespectful whole woman, then now I'm interacting, you know what I'm saying? She's still thinking as a woman, until she took that and that voice got right, but by then it was too late. And so then that's when the boyfriend jumped in. And so I wonder how that unveiled, because then that's when the boyfriend jumped in and started, because he was really attacking her. Yeah, she was really attacking her. So he was really, who are you talking about? The trans was really attacking the straight girl. Okay. And then when she ripped that wig and it got deep like that, that's when the boyfriend jumped in. Yeah. So now, how does that look? So how did the boyfriend fare? That's all I'm wondering. How did the boyfriend fare against our transgender woman? He F that. So that's was like, how's this gonna go? But I think that too, he was probably like, oh, it was a train trying to hump on him. I don't know. But it because ugly. Sometimes it was just so ugly. It was so ugly. Never seen nothing like it in my life. Traveled all the way to Puerto Rico for that, huh? Yeah, girl. You would have thought I was on what's my favorite show? On what's the name of my show? Criminal Minds. You would have thought I was Criminal Minds, because I was investigating. Like, let's go. We gotta mind our business. And I'm thinking, what's gonna happen? I mean, it was sad. Yeah. So I was like, with that being said, though, act like women. If we're gonna act like men, you know, when trans women turn into men, they're like men. Yeah. I guess until they're not. I mean, or they're. I don't know, because then you gotta, you know, you start taking into account like what is acting like a woman. Yeah. Because we come in the spectrum. You know what I mean? Yeah. The way certain women behave is not the way other women behave. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it comes, when we start to categorize it, it becomes very, very like gray as far as what that means when you say act like a woman. You know what I mean? Be docile, or be demure, or be boisterous, you know, like give it to him, or like what are we gonna say, you know? Do you think at that age, because you know how, you know, you're in this lesbian lifestyle, you know, when you first get into it, I started at a very young age, and it was always like, oh yeah, you're going through a trend. You think that, you know, he knows himself enough to, obviously you want to, you know, encourage whatever he wants to be, who he or she wants to become. Yeah. But do you think in
for instance, he turns 25 or 30, she done had transformations and all this, and then she lives in regret. Like, do you think that she knows who she truly is at 12?
Wow. I think that is difficult. Some of us do, some of us do not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I do actually feel like it's more likely that you know who you are when you've had some adverse reaction to that thing. Like, if it were easy for me to be this thing, this person, this way, then possibly. If you don't meet, like, a lot of opposition and obstacles changes us, or it helps define us, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're born, like Dwayne Wade actually in an interview today, a couple days ago, I'm not sure, but he actually said that the pronoun they, speaking on Zion, I'm not speaking about Zion, Zaya, mm-hmm. Whichever we're going by right now. And I'm trying to be completely respectful, mm-hmm. but I'm not exactly completely and totally knowledgeable. I just be like, what? Yeah, so I want to make mm-hmm. sure. But using what the word that he used, he said they pronoun, has known that she was a girl since she was 3, or transgender since she was 3. So,
like, I just need to know, like, I guess for me, it's like, what does that look like?
The only way, see, I have like I am very sympathetic and empathetic to the fact that this is an arena that I don't know, mm-hmm. but I cannot imagine, as much as I love my breasts, people, I can't imagine looking at my chest and not wanting them to be there. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That feeling right there, the ugliness that probably makes me feel inside of having, like, girl, you these couple pounds that we be talking about getting off of us that we don't like. Now, the way do we feel about the couple pounds, right? That we weren't born with, we could do something about, blah, blah. The way we feel about those, can you imagine really, like, having something about you that you don't want there, and it's just there, and it keeps like, being there?
What, like, at 3 you can identify that you don't want your penis at 3?
I mean, I don't know, because it wasn't me.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like there just needs to be, honestly, there doesn't have to be anything else said. Live your life, girl, boy, whatever you want to do, live it. For me, it just is like, I just wonder, like, did the fact that you accept who she is becoming influence her even more, encourage her behavior even more?
I mean, so somebody encouraging you to do something does not mean that they put the idea in your head. Yeah, though. You know what I mean? But so you've encouraged me to do something or be a way, but that way was already within my
and so how far I'm just curious to see how far we are going to go, because and then that's the thing, like you saying we were reading, I mean, first of all,
listen, they got enough money to do and undo kids.
Like, where are the kids at?
It, so
yeah, why are we talking about changing and adding at 12?
Yeah,
like, where are the kids?
But at this point, I don't think anything's being snipped or cut.
Oh, but it will be soon, I'm sure.
It's complete. But at that point, there's actually a
6 year. You have to live in the life for like 6 years,
maybe. And there's actually also there's a transgender girl who was the first, and she's like has YouTube channels and things like that. And I watched a lot of it, and so far, and they followed this child's journey for like forever.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is, but I know who you're talking about. I watched a lot of that. And my thing is, look, maybe it's just because of who I am, but I'm so live and let live that I can't imagine myself passing judgment, because I also, the flip side of that is, dealing with mental health and things like that. I've also seen.
What are you putting them through?
I've seen them,
your truth, not their truth.
Yeah,
your truth.
Yeah. And then it's like, maybe if there's something that you could do to make yourself feel comfortable for now, that maybe is not permanent, and you could change your mind at any given time. You know what I mean? Like when you get older. I'm saying like, let's not cut it. Let's not do anything. But then I'm also the female. For a long time, you guys know I have sister locks or whatever. For a long time before getting sister locks, because of the climate, I also was wary about young children doing something permanent with their because that's actually where I came from. Now I am completely in love with the fact that these children are making these decisions at this age, and they're also being able to love their hair. When I also do remember going through like major ish with my hair, like a sister had to have a bang. If mama ain't give you no bang and you had to go out there with that forehead that you was born with, no. So, you know, and being self-conscious and self-conscious and crazy about your hair, because it's just so something as simple as your hair has now become, you know, part of these children's identity and giving them some pride about themselves. But again, back in the day, I was not a fan. Even with my own daughter, I made her wait because I was like, well, you want them. Tell me again when you're like 16. You know, actually, I think I told her 18. Like, let's talk about it when you're an adult. She was like in her 20s. She finished them? But she did. She decided to. She did. She decided to get them. She changed her mind and waited, and now she came back to the fold and decided to get them again. So, you know, but I do like to leave children alone enough to like find their way and figure out what they really want. Not something that's influenced only by you or by society, but with their actual, like, do you have a reason? What's your reasoning for it? So hopefully that family has sat down and actually had some long, honest conversations. You know, even Dwayne Wade, I think also in the interview, he's like, I don't know what this is. This is my first rodeo with all of this going on, but that's my child. You know what I mean? Whatever gender you end up being, at the end of that, that's my child. That's my son, daughter, whatever. He, whatever they want to whatever be. You want to do, boo. Do you? Yeah. But you know, and that's what that's the other part I said. I mean, a lot of people, and we're gonna definitely move on, but a lot of people need that support, because I think that it would help the process of coming out a smoother transition. Absolutely. So I definitely, I have my questions. However, I don't have doubt that she is very loved by her parents, and that she will figure out her way. Absolutely. And guess what? They got enough money to figure it out. I'm here for you, girl. Undo it and do it again, and some more stuff. Girl, I'm here for you, girl. Well, that brings us to some other things about these children and other ways that some people are showing love for their children, like Amber. The way Amber has chosen to show love for her children is to Amber Rose. Oh, okay. Is to tat their names on her forehead. Oh, yes. So I don't know. How we feel Sebastian is a long name. Oh, listen, she has Bash Stash on her forehead. The letters are beautiful. If I were to get a tattoo, that lettering guy was, did really, really great with the lettering. I will say that. I've had some horrible letters with a tattoo before, so whatever. But Bash and Stash is definitely written well, but it is written across your forehead. So how do we feel, number one, about forehead tattoos? Cindy Crawford's son also got Misunderstood tatted under his eye. All these people getting all this weird shit. Like, I regret some of the placement of my tattoos. Like, I regret some of the placement. Once you get one right, like right here, like here that says over your eye, like over your eye. Here, this might be a little cute. I should just say, what y'all think? Never work again. Right? How about I get paid right here? Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll never have another job. Exactly. Push right here, eyebrow on my eyebrow. You guys definitely weigh in on that. I know our time is becoming short, but definitely weigh in on that. And we'll definitely pick the conversation up. But how do you guys feel about, face tats? All these tattoos. Yeah, we got to talk about the face tats, guys. Yeah, we either got to come to a consensus. Not saying that. I mean, Amber Rose. Let's be clear. She has a lot of tattoos. So you are, and we all know. Not prostitute. Wow. Skipper. I meant a stripper. All right, sweetie. Sorry. 24 hours. So she skips on back to whatever they're going to be acceptable, and she probably never will. Hopefully you have made yourself,
I hope she has set herself up for life.
That's what I'm saying. Like I plan, like you could do stuff like that, you know. You could get an ice cream cone over here if you never have to go in there and ask nobody for a job interview.
Yeah, but that's the lasting thing. Like when you get old, it's gonna be like it's gonna be bash and tash like right here.
Yeah,
like you gotta think about that. Unless you mean. I don't know. Think it through. Think it through before you get these placement of these tattoos, because we know that unless you do have the kind of money, you can get them removed. Blah blah blah. But you know,
got a little sneak on his face.
Yes. I mean, what is going on? It's weird as shit. Why are you getting all this shit on your face?
Like, what does it mean?
What the hell?
Like, are you gonna forget your son and daughter's name?
Like what?
Think
about it.
Bash stash. It's not even bash and stash. It's like bash stash.
It's like it's weird.
Yeah, whatever. You like it? Show face. You could get it removed with some more painful surgery. Like
it don't make sense.
I don't know, but like I would like to know what you guys think about that. You know what I mean?
But
maybe
like I've had so many plastic surgeries, so this shit don't even.
Yeah, maybe face has to be sexy. Like maybe I can give me a little something right here. Like push.
Okay, what's the name? What's the name of the boxer? What's the name of the boxer? Tyson. Yeah, go ahead, Tyson, with the tattoo right there.
We'll see. We never say never. You know what I'm saying? Never say never. You can
hide it with your hair.
I mean, I don't know. I am thinking about like taking this little wing right here from and then putting like push right there. Something small.
You guys, look, she tripping. She ain't getting no face tattoos.
Not getting a face tattoo.
I'm
barely getting. Yeah.
We definitely gonna jump really quickly into just DetoxTEA as the summer is approaching. Get your summer body together. Matter of fact, no.
Get your summer mind together.
Get your summer mind together. It's about to be a hot girl, hot boy summer.
Okay.
So turn up. But no, guys, make sure you're staying warm, but also staying healthy. Actually, this week, my whole thing is I've been posting some stuff because I've been so depressed because I gained so much weight. And so I say fat or skinny, fit or happy, I'm going to do me and I'm going to be me. Mm-hmm. So, guys, get fit, be happy. Because a lot of people lose weight, when you're depressed and, whatever. So be fit and be happy and get ready for this hot girl summer.
Like, take care of your vessel. You don't
take care of your body.
I mean, if that's what you think about, then I think that it'll make a little bit more sense because I'm trying to tell you that there is a moment that you're like, look, I'm never happy. Have you ever seen somebody whose body you like admire to death and they complain about that shit?
They're like, oh, I don't.
And you be like, what? Is you crazy? Is you crazy?
It make you mad.
But it happens. And I remember being there and I remember being ways that I just was not happy with myself. And I would love to be that girl again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know that girl at that time was so self-conscious about this, that, and the other. This needed to change and that needed to change. So what this girl is going to do.
My best weight was my time in life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. My best weight was my worst time in life. I was so depressed.
You got to figure out, did it make sense?
It ain't make no sense. But here, the way that this roll is sitting in this lot don't make no sense neither. So I got to get rid of this shit.
Okay. All right. So ways to take care of your vessel, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait until... I know a lot of us are on this vegan kick and stuff like that, whatever. I'm just saying, don't wait until it's too late or wait until you get that diagnosis. I'll share a story with you guys. My stepfather that passed was definitely, there's some things that he did with his body that we just be like, okay, that's probably not the best. You know what I mean? Probably not the best to avoid your vegetables and greens and stuff like that. Probably not the best to, more so flock towards the fried foods and things like that. Probably not the best to be a drinker and a smoker and not go to the gym. These ands that we do, because everybody, we have our thing where we drink, whatever. I'm just saying, let's try to focus on at least matching our negatives with our positives. Mm-hmm. So if you choose that you're going to do certain things, like do something combative. Like if you know that you are a fan of fried foods, Like make that your treat as opposed, yes, air fryer. Or make that your treat as opposed to your lifestyle. If that makes sense. Or because that's fried foods. Because this is what happens when you get older and your vessel's older, then you go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, you need to make some changes. And at that point, when it's time to make those changes, it's difficult for you. I think that when my stepfather wanted to switch over to having a more holistic lifestyle and things like that, it was so late in the game. It was so hard for him. There was one holistic person who probably said, I mean, the thought would be that if you cannot stop certain behaviors, or then there's no way to help you holistically. So a lot of us go toward a holistic lifestyle after we have exhausted all of our other options. When if we start to try to incorporate some of those things in our lives right now, and be aware of your family history, be aware of those things that you're predisposed to. Black people, we were predisposed to what? Hypertension, cardiopulmonary issues, things like that. Those things could definitely be related to diet and exercise and stuff like that. And let's be clear, they have us up in these jobs, sitting at these desks, doing these things that are also not good for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's affecting our life expectancy. Also, make sure that you're getting to the doctor and having get these things checked out, because if it is going to be the doctor that tells you that you need to change your lifestyle, at least go to the doctor to change your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Something. I don't know. We don't have plenty of rest.
Answer. Speaking of that, plenty of rest and less stress.
Okay. The shit is real. Sleep. You can read up on it. It's not gonna tell y'all. Google the ish. Okay. Go on Google and ask about the effects of diet on your overall well-being, and the effects of lack of sleep, anxiety, thought modification, all of those things on your actual total mental and physical wellness. Okay. So that's just a little detox tea, because we love y'all and we all just want to be better, Be better, live longer. Absolutely. Live better, because happier. Yeah, absolutely. But we are at our time, guys, and we appreciate you for kicking it with us, okay, for this hour or whatever. Yeah. We hope to see you back here next Wednesday. And we love you to life. Yeah, and you can definitely hit us up on SipsTea the Show on all of our social media platforms. If you're watching on GemDTwin, definitely go over to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next week. Okay. Bye. Ow, 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 ow. That.